So, what is the magic of letting go? In short, it is that releasing what no longer serves us creates the room for the unpredictable magic that can only come in when we are willing to be vulnerable, to risk growth and unbelievable magic. Hi, I'm Madeline, and if you haven't been here before, I am a tarot reader, astrologer, and intuitive who is here to help you invite more magic into your life every day. So today we're going to talk about letting things go in a magical kind of way. If releasing old bad habits and thought processes were that easy, then we would do it without a thought, right? But letting go hurts. Even when we know it's the right thing, making a change feels like a challenge to our identity and our ego, and that can feel in its own strange way like a death. It's why most of us have been caught making really bold statements about things we are totally done with, only to be caught red-handed with our hand in the DMs or the ice cream tub that we rebuked mere moments or days earlier. So, knowing that change is difficult for most of us, I've designed the following ritual to help you hopefully process the thoughts and feelings that come up as you prepare to release people, patterns, and situations from your life that aren't helping you be at your best, most authentic, and most powerful. I happen to be filming on the day of a lunar eclipse, so it's an extremely potent time to be doing this kind of work, but please know that you can do a banishing or a releasing type of ritual at any time that you feel you need to create some space in your life to grow into. All you need for this ritual is a pen, paper, and a timer. You can use your phone. You can grab a fire-safe container and a candle if you are into that sort of thing, but those are optional. First, set a timer for 10 minutes. We're going to do a brain dump of everything that is holding you back or bringing you down. What situations, people, habits, or stories are keeping you feeling stuck? Please note, when I say stories, that story may be true, something very wrong or truly unfair that happened to you. The idea is to ask yourself, is this a story that it serves me to keep telling, or am I ready to release my grip on it so that I can write a new one? I'm not asking you to pretend that never happened to you or pretend that you don't feel that way. I'm asking you to ask yourself, if identifying with this story is making your life fuller or more draining. All of us have good and bad stories. The problem comes when our ego wants to attach to these stories and make them part of our identity. It's when we identify with our problems and make them, this is who I am, that it becomes very hard to get out of these old paradigms. For example, a story like, I've had my heart broken horribly more than once and now I don't trust people may be very true for you. And you may see that story very truly reflected in what's going on around you, in untrustworthy people and also in people that you push away at the mere worry of an emotional risk. Your ego is doing its best to protect you by reminding you that you're just too savvy or too damaged to form a connection with someone. That's just who you are now, right? Well, it doesn't have to be. You have a choice in the matter. And if the story is serving you, well then by all means hang on to the story. If it's a story worth keeping, your free will is everything. All I want is for you to have what you want, and I would never ask you to get rid of something that was actually serving you and making your life better. Once your 10 minutes is up, I recommend that you review your list and choose one habit or situation or relationship to release. That way your intention has a lot more power and focus. But that said, you're the magician. You trust your instincts on this. If you would like to banish more than one thing at a time, please do go right ahead. Once you've chosen the subject of your banishment, you're going to turn the page, literally and figuratively, and write it a loving goodbye letter. To really get ready to say goodbye, we're going to do it gracefully and thoroughly, the better to embody the energy that we want to experience in the outer world, as within, so without. You can write this letter digitally if you want, but the science and magic between the mind-body connection of actually taking your thought and putting it into tangible form through writing it down, the science is just too compelling there for me not to recommend doing it the old-fashioned way. So to begin, dear pattern, person, or relationship, thank you for, stick with me here, you could be banishing someone or something totally shitty, and I get that. But regardless, that situation or experience gave you something, even if it was a tough lesson or survival skills or just a really excellent lesson on how not to be an asshole. And if it's something that you will actually really miss, go ahead and pour your heart out. Share all of the heartfelt gratitude that you feel. Really allow yourself to feel true gratitude for whatever it is that you can take from that situation, habit, or thought. As much as you can, if you can find it in yourself, to send it gratitude and then even a degree of forgiveness. And remember, you're not forgiving this thing or this person or this relationship for it so much as you are doing it so that you don't have to carry this around anymore. Forgiveness is a transmutation of energy. Remember, we're talking about very practical things here, but this is practical magic. And don't forget to forgive yourself in this whole situation, whether it's because you made some mistakes or even just for the fact that you have held on to this old way of thinking or this old paradigm maybe longer than you wish you had. So in your letter, once you've given thanks, now it's time to explain why you need to let this go. Whatever that looks like. I've grown out of this, or I have to move on, or you're toxic for me, or don't deserve a place in my life. This is where you remind yourself of all the ways in which this thing or this person does not serve you growing into your biggest self. After you've finished explaining yourself, go ahead and finish your letter with well wishes and goodbye. Then we're going to burn it up, let it go, and keep letting go. Now the fun part. We get to dispose of your letter in whatever way feels powerful. So for me, I really do prefer to go ahead and burn it, both for the pure catharsis, but also for the literal visual representation of a transformation of energy, right? Energy is neither created nor destroyed, only changed. Well, I'm not trying to destroy this, but I am trying to change it into something. I am making it into magic. But you could do this in any way that feels good to you. Always trust your instincts. This is the time, if you haven't done it already, that I would also dispose of, in whichever way is appropriate, any kind of memorabilia or visual triggers that are going to take you back to this thing, person, place, habit. The final step in my banishings is to now transmute the energy that we've raised within ourselves as we've done this work. Whatever you are feeling, having written all that out and ripped it to shreds or set it ablaze or buried it in the cat box, now we're going to take that energy that you have within, we're going to embody and transmute it to create even more magic, to fill the space that we have now created by setting some things free. How are we going to do that? By dancing our asses off. So when you're brainstorming what you want your banishment to be and its desired results, I want you to think of an anthem that really represents the feeling coursing through you, what it's going to feel like when that thing is gone, or how triumphant you're going to feel letting it go. So when you finish burning your letter, go ahead and put on your song, turn the volume up, or put the headphones in and really jam out shamelessly. Sing it, dance it, put that energy somewhere. You will feel it move. You will feel a shift in your energy, and I want you to trust that. You don't have to look cool. The more you let yourself get into it, the more energy that you transform and generate. If you remember my last videos, then you remember how important it is to project our energy with intention. You will not just be doing a victory dance. You are generating the energy to create a new reality in which you are liberated and loving life. I also recommend that you continue to use this anthem as a sort of banishing aftercare, a way of charging up your banishing. Whenever we do any kind of releasing ritual, we are effectively grabbing, the cosmic pendulum and yanking it in a direction that we want it to go. So when we do that, we can calmly, witchily expect that in one way or another, whether mentally or in life, the pendulum is gonna come swinging back and present us very temptingly with this old habit, old lover, old situation, and see, are you really, really done with this? And knowing this, you can witchily, calmly, when this happens, pause, take yourself to a quiet space, put on your banishing anthem, sing and dance it out, and then check in with your newly charged up energy and see if you still feel even remotely tempted to allow this thing you have banished back into your life. You have the choice. You have the power. And every time you remember that, it will be easier to release your grip, shed your skin, and grow into your magic. Until next time, happy banishing!